Well, Ken, it's been an unusual year, so it makes sense we are heading into an unusual training camp. So let's stay with that theme and do an unusual tee up to camp. You and I are going to play a game of Would You Rather. You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to start off. Would you rather Paul Stastny become everything the Jets have been looking for in a second line center for so long? Or would you rather the addition of Derek Forbort and maybe young rookies like Dylan Samberg or Ville Heinola come into camp and correct a much maligned Jets defense?
Sean, for me, I'm going to go with the area the Jets attacked first in terms of the offseason here, and that's the addition of Paul Stastny. So for me, the Jets have been looking to sort out this problem since Stastny left in free agency to the Vegas Golden Knights. For me, he brings so much to the table. He has more than 1,000 games of NHL experience when you include the playoffs. He plays in all situations. He's averaged nearly 20 minutes a game for his NHL career. And then you have the intangible side. Although he was only here for a short time, he forged some important relationships. He's an incredible leader, and he immediately helps both the power play and the penalty kills. So for me, he can also play that role of helping young players like a Cole Perfetti, who we're not sure if he's going to be ready this year, but the guy who's going to eventually transition for his job, he's more than willing to help in the process of becoming a professional.
Well, Kenny, I got to say, I got a lot of admiration for you because very few people could take an answer that was so wrong and make it sound so right. Clearly, it's the defense. This has been the biggest issue that the Jets have had over last season since they had a mass exodus of star defensive players walk out the door. The Jets, at their best, back in that season that they went to the conference finals, they were a kind of team that their defense stood up opposition at their own blue line. They bottled teams up in their own zone, and that allowed the very dangerous Jets forwards to go to work. They were also very good at getting the puck out of their own zone. That hasn't been the case, and definitely wasn't the case last year. And everyone is very familiar with the storyline of Connor Hellebuyck being the best goalie in the league, winning the Vezina Trophy because he needed to cover up the copious mistakes that those players on defense were making. So they need some guys to step up. They need some rookie players potentially to step up and become mainstay NHLers and kind of flip the switch on that. I hear what you're saying. Paul Stastny coming in, what he could do, especially with a player like Patrick Laine, could be huge. But let's be honest, the Jets have had skilled forwards for a long time. They can score. They need defense at this stage.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, Sean. And my idea is why pick one when you can have both? But I would also say I think that Derek Forbort is an incredibly important player to watch during both training camp and the early stages of the season. We also know with the young players, it's an interesting situation with Ville Heinola, who's playing so well at the World Junior, but he's going to have that quarantine situation when he returns from Edmonton. So although he would be ahead of the process in most years, now he's going to have 7 days where he's off the ice completely. So I think it might sort of pause his momentum, if you will, at least at the start of the year. Dylan Samberg is a guy the Jets have wanted to get into their organization at the professional level for some time. And the thing with both Samberg and Forbort, once they're both regulars on that back end, they have added size considerably with players that still bring some mobility. So I love the tenacity and the ferocity they're going to be adding. And then you have the skill of Heinola. I just think that Stastny will make a bigger impact quickly.
Well, those are all very good points, Kenny. I don't know how the rules for these things work, but I think because I'm the host, I get to pick the winner, and I'm going to have to pick myself. But you know what? Don't worry. There's a big season ahead of us. I'm sure that will answer the questions we have. Training camp gets going for the Jets on Sunday.